Sean says the 53 is set. The offseason drama is winding down. There's only one piece left. I would say two. You got to figure out the kicker thing, but the Bosa thing. Sean asks, how was your confidence in this team fluctuated from this time last year? I have more question marks now than I initially thought. If we go from the high point of this offseason, which was brought up by somebody else in the chat, I forgot the tag. When we signed Javon Hargrave, that was holy freaking cow. We brought in Steve Wilkes, got Javon Hargrave, whoo, signed Sam Darnold. We got crazy quarterback depth. That was level 10. I was so excited about what Drake Jackson's going to bring. Oh, I was pumped. Like this team, yeah, it's taken some hits. It's taken some hits. There's no doubt. Traded Trey Lance for nothing. Lose your quarterback depth. Drake Jackson was not good. All of training camp was not good in his preseason games. That scares me. Defensive ends behind him didn't really show much. Cleveland Farrell looked good. That's huge. That was a step up. Offensive line depth didn't look good. Defensive line depth didn't look good. So, yeah, it's gone down. The Bosa thing hurts. The kicker drama, like we don't have a kicker for week one. Maybe Jake Moody's back, but I am glad that they didn't sign and trade more draft capital away for another kicker that was a short-term rental. But, yeah, it's taken a hit. The depth on this team, which I thought was our strength, is now in question all over the place, not just at the quarterback position, offensive line position. Would you feel confident if Nick Zakelj has to play? I do not. I don't. That's a problem. Do you feel confident if Isaiah Oliver has to play? I do not. Do you feel confident if Ambry Thomas is out there against the ones? I don't. And these were feelings I didn't have earlier in the year. Now, okay, cool. Balance. Positives. The biggest positive that could have happened this entire offseason was that Brock Purdy could be back and healthy by now. We just this week was when the initial surgery timeline was supposed to be done. Brock was supposed to be cleared today, literally today. Well, the surgery happened on a Friday, so I guess it'd be 2 more days out. So the best position got better. Brock Purdy is back. That's number one. So that has elevated. You made it through preseason and training camp without any huge injuries. Yeah, there's injuries, but none to your premier starters. Ray hurts. Jake Moody hurts. But, man, I'm just going to be honest. Like, there are some major positives. Major positives. Are they all positives? No. If I was at a 10, I'm probably at a 9 now. And so that hurts. So, yeah, I'm down lower than I was. And I think that kind of reflects what you're seeing on social media and the fan base and all those things. Luke says, what if Bosa's asking for something they can't do? What if it's over 35? Do they consider trading him for Sweat and Chase Young? No. Over 35 is a lot. I think you can manipulate that in certain ways with incentives and things like that. Like, that's the thing. Whenever you have marriage is funny, right? And I tell people this all the time. As long as you have two sides that want to work together, you can figure everything else out. As long as two people want it to work, everything else is details. As soon as you get one that doesn't want it to work, now you're problematic. Now it's problematic. And so I think Bosa wants to be here. I don't think there's, if Bosa didn't want to be here, he'd be putting stuff out like Debo did or whatever. And then you have to kind of overcompensate and make that person feel wanted. That's the way it goes. I don't get that from this. Now, this is all speculation because neither side has put anything out. Kyle Shanahan said everything is going to be private on both sides, and they've kept to that. But yeah, the trade for Bosa just doesn't, unless you're getting back Justin Herbert, not interested. Not interested. That's just the facts. If you're getting a top 3 quarterback, cool. If not, I'm not trading him. You still have him under contract for a year, and you can franchise him. and you can franchise him. After that year, you can franchise him twice. You have Bosa dead to rights for 3 years. Now he could say, fine, I'll just hold out till whatever. My family's super rich, doesn't matter. That's not in Bosa's best interest either. And so I go back to where I started. Marriages work as long as both people want it to. I don't think either one of the 49ers or Bosa do not want this to work. Bosa loves it here. He loves his teammates. Would he rather be somewhere else? I don't know, but like, there's not a better situation for him. We just went out and got Javon Hargrave. Yeah, I think it's going to work. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, but yeah, it's there. CSL says, yeah, just lost Il Manning to the Cardinals with the throw up emoji. I'm with you, man. Savage says Drake Jackson played okay. I don't think Drake Jackson played better than Alex Barrett. I don't think he played better than Austin Bryant. I don't think he played better than Kerry Hyder. I don't think he played better than Cleveland Farrell. Yeah, he was okay. Not good, though. He was not good. He was the worst defensive end we had that made the roster. And I would argue Barrett was better than him, and he did not make the roster. Barrett was probably twice as good as he was. I'm not giving up on Drake Jackson. I just the jump that we were hoping to see never showed itself in preseason or training camp. Did not. Did not. He's young. Don't need to give up on him. You got time, but it's not there. It's not there. Right here, Scott says the Bosa holdup is all about guarantees. Joey got 102. Nick wants way more, deserves way more. The Yorks have never gave over 74, and that was a quarterback. They gave what's his name? Debo, the highest guaranteed of all those wide receivers that got signed last year. And so, yeah, I'm big on guaranteed numbers for players always because their bodies are the ones that get wrecked. The Niners are big on, I'm with you here, Scott. They want players to bet on themselves. That's all the incentive deals and whatever. Like, that's what they want, whether that's Parag, whether that's, ownership, who knows. But they are big on that. You are correct. This dude has deserved it. Steven, John, it's not even week one, and this year feels very off. I had high hopes early, but I have a bad feeling this year is going to go off the rails. I feel the Niners D is not going to be what it has been. It's hard to do what it was. Best in points and yards, that's rare. It's happened twice the past decade. And the funny thing is it happened in back-to-back years. Buffalo did it 2 years ago. We did it last year. But I don't think that the defense has to be the best in the NFL for this Niners team to win the division. The playoffs is a whole nother discussion. Once you're in, you're in. You get into the tournament, all hell can break loose. We've made the NFC Championship as a 6 seed. We've made it as a 1 seed. We've made it as a 2 seed. You get in, this team's built for the playoffs. Do I think we're going undefeated? No. Do I think we have the best team in the NFL? I think we're in the conversation. So, yeah, definitely there's some stink on with the 49ers currently. I get that. I buy into that, Steven. I feel it too. My emails, my DMs agree with you. They're negative. Not usually negative at this time of year. But this roster and coaching staff is still freaking awesome with Bosa. And who's going to beat us in the NFC, right? Who's and hold on, let me rephrase that sentence. Who's going to keep us out of the playoffs? 7 teams get in. 7 out of 16 teams. That's it. And again, listen to these teams. And again, I'll start. We'll do this negative, okay? I'm just going to count from the bottom up. Arizona, they're not stopping us. The Rams, not stopping us. Not. Carolina Panthers, hell no. Tampa Bay, God, might be the first overall pick. Chicago Bears, you got to be kidding me. And yeah, people, I know somebody's like, Bears beat us last year. That's correct, but they won 3 games. They're not making the freaking playoffs. That's 5. That's 5 that are just not making the playoffs, period. Now, Seattle, we beat them 3 times last year. Falcons are better, and they beat us last year, but come on. Saints, really? Derek Carr? No. Packers, we've beat them with Aaron Rodgers. Now they ain't got him. Detroit Lions, yeah, they're improved. They might make the playoffs. I'm betting against it. But no, they're still one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Still one of the worst defenses in the NFL the past decade. You don't win games that way. Offense is great, not a complimentary team. The Vikings, they're in rebuild mode. They're in rebuild mode. They've decided they're not keeping Kirk Cousins past this year, and they're just riding it out. Then you got the whole NFC East, and those are all good squads, but, like, come on, man. Philly, we get to play them. We'll see what happens there. Dallas, we've knocked out of the playoffs back-to-back years. The Giants and Daniel Jones, really? You got the freaking Lego man as your quarterback? Doesn't he look like the Lego character? No? And then the Washington Commanders. There's not 7 teams there. And you guys could bookmark this and whatever and hold it against me, but like, I'm not too concerned, man. Do I think that we're the shoe-in to win the Super Bowl? I do not. Do I think that we're going to win our division? I do. You win your division, you got a chance. And think about how you felt when we signed Hargrave to how we felt now and how things have changed. Guess what? Things can change the opposite way. When you win, it's the deodorant of all the other stuff that smells like shit. It covers it up. And guess what this team has done since Shanahan showed up? They've won. And I get all these emails and DMs about, oh, Shanahan's on the hot seat. Pardon my French. Bullshit. Not even close. Do I agree with everything they have done? No way. I started off, I'm pissed off still about Deshaun Jameson. But come on, man. 3 out of 4 NFC championships with 2 different quarterbacks. This roster is legit. And the Niners are legit. What team would keep their team over what the Niners have? Maybe the Eagles in the NFC. AFC, that's a whole nother conversation, and we ain't got to worry about them till the Super Bowl. We'll deal with that when we get there. This team, the 2023 49ers, is a freaking juggernaut. You got all pros everywhere, and that's even without Bosa. Let's say Bosa doesn't sign and doesn't play week 1. That sucks. And yeah, I might not bet the 49ers, and I'd be pissed off. But still, you look over at the Steelers, who are a damn good team, and I do have making the playoffs. They don't have what we have. They don't have an all-pro running back. They don't have an all-pro wide receiver. They don't have an all-pro left tackle. They don't have a Pro Bowl fullback. They don't have an all-pro linebacker. They do have an all-pro safety. They do have an all-pro edge rusher. But it's not even close, man. It's not even close. And so this team, the 2023 49ers, and I get some of us are pissed about this or that, and I'm one of you, but the big picture is this. This is a Super Bowl contending roster as is. This is a Super Bowl contending coaching staff as is. Period. Are there going to be bumps? Yeah. Is it going to suck? Yes. But this team is for real. And, I put out negative stuff and people get upset, but damn it, this team, where have we been? I would take this team in a heartbeat over 2019 49ers, and it ain't even close. It's not close. It's not close. Maybe the offensive line was better then. Maybe that. Outside of that, not even close. Not close. And you look at last year's team. This team's better than last year. I really do believe that. I really do. CMC wasn't on the team, and once he did, it changed everything. We still have CMC.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.